to my grandma.
Ooh, when the trauma
Yo,
becomes the
she,
when the trauma becomes the programming. Literally. So now we have these people who are chasing that dollar when they forgot that they were rich in
hmm
family. They
hmm
were rich in spirit. They were rich enough to be able to say, you know what, I'm not being treated correctly. But once you got accepted into this thing, it blurred the lines for
Right,
people.
Right.
because and this is going back from what I hear from
Hey,
my elders.
Sheree.
Um they so when you get around those communities and you see the difference in them, then it's, the dad needs to go work the extra hours, or the mom might need to pick up a couple extra shifts, or both of them wanted to go get a job so they could go do this, so the kids were going to the grandma or the auntie or the neighbor. And even though in those aspects it still wasn't a negative, because the grandma and the auntie and the neighbor, it was common for those things to work like that in the community.
what's up,
Hey,
Storm
wifey.
Storm?
But still, in fact, the pressure, let's say, the pressure to keep up with the perception of the society around you might have forced us, like Reese said, to devalue the richness that we already had acquired in pursuit of the pseudo form of richness that was presented to us, unbeknownst to us that they was miserable.
Right.
Yo,
They
bro, I gotta talk about what you said. I want you to beat and teach on that, right? A lot of people, I didn't know I was poor, and until somebody had to kind of show me. I'm like, I thought we was rich as hell. Like this little swimming pool that was only like 12 inches high, and like six people got in it, and we had to refill it up. This little swimming pool in the front yard, that was everything to us. Until we start seeing like, is this what rich is? I thought this was rich, being happy, but these motherfuckers was miserable than a bitch. You know what I mean? And
right.
and like I said, I didn't know I was supposedly poor until I got damn near 11 or something. Like I thought I didn't know what poor was because
You know
everybody
what's
around us
crazy,
was
Native?
equal. Hmm
It's crazy, Native, is it's actually on the other side for me. So, where we grew up was a wealthy neighborhood, but I didn't know because it just looked normal to us. But when my cousins and stuff would come to our house from the back east and from the Midwest and stuff, and mind you, we went to their house. When we go to their house, it wasn't a difference in perception in our mind. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I go to my cousin's house and they're poor. It wasn't that perception. But for some reason, they'd come to our house and they would see what we had
hmm
acquired, what we had. It was,
Yep.
oh, they're rich. That's the rich auntie. That's the rich auntie. That's the rich auntie.
Right. Right. hmm
But mind you, we're the house full of foster kids too. So there's that. But you know, sorry.
Right.
Hold on, my baby wants some grilled cheese,
No.
y'all.
No.
Hold on one
Yeah.
second.
No problem. No problem. And then we seen that her mind wasn't rich because get your hands off my wall. This and this type of stuff.
Yeah.
And we had so much freedom in a poor house, right?
Yep, yep,
And
yep,
yep.
yep.
Right.
Go ahead. You got it.
No, I mean, you're right. I mean, when you're living around a small community and you only see that community, you don't have anything to compare it to. And that's what
Not at
I'm
all.
saying. I don't feel like our brains was initially, when it was initially created, wasn't meant for it to be compared to millions. So now you see all these things like when they came out with lifestyles of the rich and famous, people didn't know how the rich and famous lived until they saw it on television. And then television opened up people's eyes to a whole world that they could compare their world to. Now they don't think
Yeah.
they have enough.
Yeah. Okay. Looky, let me tap in on that. I heard my dad.
Mhm.
I still remember this day. I don't like talking about myself like building with others, but I will say this. I do remember him. He never liked watching two episodes. HGTV, if that's what it was called, where they fix up houses, and
Mhm.
MTV Cribs. He didn't like it. He hated HGTV and MTV Cribs because these people get to fix up their house and their kitchen and stuff. And I used to look at it like, that's a big ass house and a lot of cars. Like, why they need so much of that? Why they need all that
Right.
space? And this little house, I was just happy of what we had. But I'm looking at MTV Cribs like MTV Cribs was fucking us up.
And it was a
They was,
Heck
if
yeah,
yeah.
if you was paying attention, they didn't have
yeah,
shit in there. in the
Yeah,
refrigerator. I remember my
no,
niece called me when
yeah.
she was like, "Hey, Auntie, can you buy me something? Cause we don't have nothing in the refrigerator." I was like, "Show it to me." I said, "Damn, your refrigerator look like an empty crib, MTV Cribs refrigerator. Cause all you got is water in that bitch. What's
Water
going
is,
on?
yeah. There was no baby
Don't nobody
pictures on
live
them,
there.
nothing.
Don't
It
nobody
was no
live
baby
damn there.
pictures on the wall. And I was looking at the MTV cribs like, where's all the family pictures at? Where's the magnets on the fridge?
Cause
I
them
was
people
confused.
live in their car.
I
That's why.
my favorite episode of MTV Cribs will always be Redman because Redman was the realest one
Hell
out of
yeah.
all of
Facts.
them.
Yep.
Facts.
Redman's
Facts.
house, that was his real spot.
Facts.
I
It was
remember
no
Okay.
that.
faking,
I
like
loved
Yep.
his
no cap
episode. It
at
was the
all.
best fucking episode. Period.
Yep. Yep.
So
Agreed.
all that other
Agreed.
stuff, it was probably rented places. Like them people ain't living
Right.
like that for
They
I
real.
thought
wasn't
we was
living like that.
delusional though. Like, why did they think we was so stupid that we didn't know? Like, all y'all got is water in there. Who eating at this house? Let me know. How are you living?
But this is how programming works. I mean, how else are you supposed to turn your belief that who you are and the value of yourself is not earned? Like everything that we do now, people feel like they gotta earn your love. They feel like they gotta earn your trust. They feel like they gotta earn everything. Like
Like,
no
gotta
one
earn it to
feels
keep
like
it. Damn.
right. No one believes that you deserve it because you deserve it. Like you don't have to earn someone's love. They should love you for who you are. You know what I'm saying? For just
Oh,
having a good character, being a good person, having emotional
look.
depth. What happened to Big Energy? She cut herself off. So now people feel like they gotta get followers. You know what I'm saying? They gotta get money. They gotta get.
Well, okay. So like, it's people. I gotta.
Go ahead, Big Energy.
I was looking at social media and how we like talk about our friends. Can you hear me? I might need to get down
Mhm.
and
Yes,
come back
we
up.
can hear you.
Um like what kind of friendships we should have, the
Welcome
standard
back,
of
Milk.
friendships, and if you're not doing this in your life, then maybe you shouldn't be around me. And it's like, dang, the breakage of the connections people have that are genuine, they're supposed to be genuine connections, they're now being broken up because social media is telling you that your friend need to be on this standard in order for y'all to be around to fuck each other. That don't
Yeah,
make
yeah.
sense.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why I'm thinking that's funny. That's true though.
No, but
Yeah.
seriously, like we got to a point where we were not never taught how to just value yourself. I mean, I know in the 80s it was more about that, but as time has progressed, we have seen the shift. You know, it's about what you got and what you have. That's why everybody was, for so many years, it's been like a decade now. All you see is people talking about what they have and what they got, and you know, and people are valuing these things and want to be like these things, and then your children don't really value money. You know, they don't value how to get things. They just want things, you know, so they can chase clout, because how many people you got following you is determining your value. So we no longer have this I deserve everything I deserve because I am me. You know, like I don't have to perform for you. I don't have to prove anything to you. Like I'm doing what I gotta do for me. And we don't have that anymore. So I feel like our society has made us very superficial. I mean, I don't know if anybody up here is going to agree with that, but even when it comes to getting married, like that, a relationship status, that's still you putting your value on you being a wife or being a husband. And every time you're in an argument with anybody on this app, they be like, "You over 30 and you ain't got no husband?" hmm Superficial bullshit. What me
Uh-oh.
having a husband got to do with me? That don't make me a bad person. That don't change my heart. Like
Looky,
what?
looky, let me tell you, y'all. Yesterday, me and Stormy, and y'all know I don't play about my Stormy. And listen, she's on the panel. We were talking about Polly. She was sharing her experience. And this was just a beautiful conversation. And then some man out of the damn blue goes, well, who how do we know you're about how do we know you're worthy of that,
Mm.
what do you do for them, how are you bringing value to their life, and I said, Stormy, she's not going to answer it, she's not going to answer that question, and I'm not going to allow you to ask her that question, because whatever she does or whatever she provides, those men in her life have found her value in whatever she does or whatever she doesn't do, and
Let them
you
know.
and you, Mr. Ain't proved a fuck ass thing to nobody on this panel, have no bounds or no boundaries to ask her a
Goddamn.
fuck ass thing. So
And
move
I
around.
and
And they
I
tried to bring up
feel
the conversation again. And I said, no, I said, we're not going to have this conversation. Move around.
it's so interesting the fact that humans have such a lack of control over themselves that they feel like, you know what, that's too much work. Let me put that down and go outside and try to force this on somebody else. And that is such a major violation for me because it's happening in so many different fonts. It's becoming very hard to recognize when you're being swayed.
Mm, true, true. But once they try to make it something outside of you, they already trying to play in your face. Because that ain't got nothing to do with you. Once they try to make it about some type of behavior or they already playing in your face. Period. Because they're trying to bring you to a level, like most people want to compare you to something so that they can bring you down. That's the only reason why they're saying these things to you. But like he said, the most confident rich people can't nobody say nothing to. But even the most confident broke person can't nobody say nothing to. They happy. People be so mad at you because you ain't got nothing, but you happy. And they got a big house, nice cars, all this money, and they miserable. Why? Because money don't buy you no happiness. I don't know how many times people got to tell y'all that. It's not going to bring you no peace. And even though life may be easier, because that's what people say, life is easier with money, but is it? Because didn't Biggie say more money, more problems? So your life don't get easier. It just changes. Okay. It transmutes. Okay. It's still going to
Hey,
be your life.
hey,
But,
and the answer said more knowledge, less problems.
okay. Okay. And that's true because you don't fall into the traps of what people are trying to put onto you because they do it every single day on this app, especially with that word demon. It is so ridiculous. They use demon and demonic so much, not knowing what it means. And every time I hear it, it falls deaf on my ears because it's like, man, y'all really don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all still want to be using these words that they created to make you feel some type of way about yourself. And it's like, when are you gonna not be blind anymore? When will you be touched and now you can see? Because like, aren't we sick and tired of repeating that? I feel like I say at least 5 times a week on this app. The etymology of demon is daemon, which means guiding spirit. I know I say that at least 5 times a week on this app. When is it gonna get through their head? I don't know, but people are always trying to make you feel some type of way
because
about yourself.
because like you say, that nervous system is flustered.
What? That
Okay.
nervous system is on a whole nother level because they have let people interject thoughts that have made their self esteem so fragile. People can say anything to them and they break. Their identity has become conditioned to some type of ideology they created in their head. So when they get any type of criticism, it's like you annihilate them.
And oh, when you're an example of of um accountability and individuality and safety within yourself, it holds other people accountable for what they're not doing. And that's why you get that
Yes.
pushback, because it's like, dang, I ain't doing that, so what am I doing? And if you didn't sit there and compare yourself to what somebody else was
Right.
doing, if you were strong in thought and what you know, you wouldn't have those problems. But they have made us addicted to belief.
Yes. Yes, because when you start measuring yourself off of what other people tell you you should be measuring yourself off of, like how much money you got, or how many degrees you got, or how many likes or views you getting on your post and stuff, what your body looks like, or even if you have any visibility, because some people be like, I'm talented, how come nobody sees me? Why do you think they seeing them? Like, you don't think that's orchestrated? Like, come on now. Like, do
Cause
you for you.
if other people see you being authentically then they are challenged to be authentically them. And
Right.
if they keep selling us this version of a self to be, and we keep leaning into it, the cycle continues.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, nobody wants you to be anybody but you. Everybody has their own blueprint. What you are good at, what you can excel at, what you're great at. But if you're so busy trying to be the next person, you trying to be the next Beyonce, you trying to be the next Jay-Z,
Girl, I was
but you
just getting ready
supposed
to
to be
say,
being
people used to say that to me, and it used to piss me off because we're separate entities. And if I put out something, I don't want them to say, "Oh, that sound like whoever
right.
the hell." No, I want to sound like
Right.
me.
Right. And you need to, big energy. You know we're gonna be pushing you to do what you gotta do. Cause we may be like, yeah, I know her. Yeah, she sounds great. I love this song too. That's what we wanna do with you. You know what I'm saying? We wanna praise you for you.
Listen, and I want to praise people for what they do, and let them know that there are no small roles. I think the greatest thing that I've experienced personally is working in theater, because no matter what the character is, even if you think that you're the lead, the principal, whatever, if something is different on that stage, if you're not there, the trajectory of the energy is something different. It's a different recipe.
Right. It is. It is a different recipe. And it's like, find yours. Cause your ingredients to what your special sauce is yours. It's not anybody else's. Every time you stay comparing yourself to the next person, you are no longer thinking of your inner worth. You are measuring it something outside of you. And we all know everything is within. So why are you looking without to feel any type of way? Because when you reach that type of success that they reach, will you feel empty or will you be happy? Because if it was never meant for you, you're not going to feel anything when you reach someone else's goals and someone else's success, because it has nothing to do with yours. When you're doing what you need to do for you, you feeling good all the way. Every part of it, you feel good. You're even a shocked at how good you feel. Like, oh my God. Oh,
And
I'm
I'm
just
happy.
happy.
and I want people, I want to see other people thrive in their role, in their quote unquote ministry. I want to see them in that spot, because if you're focused on your thing, you ain't over here fucking up what I got going on with my thing.
Right. Right. You're not trying to sabotage me because you like, mm-mm, she don't even deserve all that. I don't even know why them people listening to her. I don't even know why they even care about her. You're so stuck on comparing yourself to the next person. You don't even see what you're giving up for your own self. Your focus should be on what you need to do for you, not what Betty Sue is doing across the street. Like, how are you going to wake up every day and smile? What is making you happy every day? Every single day. You just have joy because you know what you're doing for you makes sense. Misty Crystal, find your tribe, find the people that vibe with you. Absolutely. Because we always talk about the things that we ingest into our body, but that includes everything. The things that you hear, the things that you're seeing, you're ingesting those into your body too. And if you're around people who steadily want to compare you to the next person, it got on my nerves when my grandmother kept comparing me to my cousins. And I was a child. And I'm like, but I'm not Mickey and Christy. Like, what?
Okay. And I ain't gonna never be them. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
never. So, of course, it's going to get into
But
your identity. Did somebody want to say something? Oh, I thought. Okay.
no, I was saying what's up, Chris.
Hey, lovely. Hey, London. But we gotta stop comparing ourselves and stop letting society force comparisons on you. That's how they ended up in this position as when the television came on and told all the housewives, you need to have a dishwasher, you need to have a microwave. That's keeping up with the Joneses. When you start trying to keep up with the Joneses, Nada, didn't you used to say something about keeping up with the Joneses?
Who is them
Like,
I
Joneses?
said the
The
same damn
hell?
thing. I never
Where
seen
the
Yeah.
them Jones
where the
niggas.
hell
So
them
Where the
Joneses
fuck
came
is the
from?
Joneses? Are they
yeah,
black?
so
Are they white?
they
Who are these Jones niggas?
they 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 put the, so I was trying to complete this Joneses thing, and because Joneses have children,
hey,
so when people say keeping up the Joneses, they only left it with the adults. So the Joneses had Joneses children, and the children are trying to keep up with the Joneses children. Okay,
mm,
so they didn't want to complete that part because the children are trying to keep up with these other children, which belongs to the Joneses, right? So as the adults is keeping up with the Joneses, we got our kids that's trying to keep up with them. While we're thinking we're trying to keep up with them. You know what I mean? So we're being
mm-hmm.
attacked all different type of angles, and we're not even thinking about it. You know what I mean? I don't want my kids trying to keep up with the kids, with the Joneses kids. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Absolutely.
So they
You
come
know,
home, they want all these certain things. I'm like, where are you getting these ideas from? And guess what? They're going through the same thing.
absolutely.
Go ahead.
Children are going through it worse. Like, because that's why they started making them wear school uniforms. So they all can look relatively the same. So they would stop comparing each other, be like, oh, look at you with them busted ass, wrinkled ass jeans
And
on.
it
You
didn't
know what I'm
fix
saying?
anything. It just made them zero in more on things that you really can't change, like your hair, your face, your body. Those things, it made it worse, if you ask me.
It made it worse. I mean, you work around children, so
I'm
you're
thinking
around
about
them.
my experience when in comparison to um and then now in comparison to the kids that go to school and they wear whatever they want to wear. The ones that wear uniforms, they start comparing. Now it's down to shoes, and now it's down to the quality of whatever uniform you have on, what color shirt, if you have the feasible,
No.
if you are feasible to wear
Agree.
a blue one or a green
In
one,
our
and
time,
do you have a wig? Now it's
Right.
in my time, it was the backpack. In my time, Ree, it was your
backpack.
backpack
That
and your
part.
folder.
That
If you didn't
part.
have the thick if you didn't have the thick folder, okay, with the invisible thing in the front, so you could put your pictures and your designs and all the stuff in the front. Oh, you was not lit. And if your backpack wasn't what's that lady? Lisa what was the lady? Elizabeth. She had all the different color stickers and
Elizabeth.
crayons and stuff. What was her name? She had the stickers and stuff, yeah. Oh my gosh. But if you didn't have her
Oh, I know who
backpack,
you talking about.
Lisa Frank.
Lisa
Lisa
Frank.
Frank. If
Yeah,
you didn't
Lisa
have a
Frank.
Lisa Frank backpack, child, you was
See,
not it if you did
now
not have a Lisa Frank backpack.
the sad part about the leveling up of the things we decide not to heal within ourselves, we feed them right to the kids. So now is if you have a wig, if you have a cell phone, what you're doing on this cell phone and what we're talking about on this cell phone. I can't even barely fucking spell, but I'm on here talking about do you know to throw that thing in a circle, and I'm not even in the fourth grade. I'm not even in the fourth
Dang.
grade. I'm watching kids. They ain't even met 10, but they lay out on the floor and say, "I want to kill myself. I want to kill everybody in here."
Wow.
But they're also watching baddies. So when you put baddies up there, now I'm asking the kids. I start to ask them some critical questions because now that I'm aware that you're watching that with your mom, um what are you taking from this? And what I see is that they're calling their elementary friends to meet them at the park so they can have a Royal Rumble because that's what they've been watching.
Wow. That's crazy.
And then
But
I'm
see,
watching baddies, but I'm also scared for my peers and the people that's coming right up under me because it's like, damn, y'all look like y'all about to kill each other and y'all don't know each other for $1.
wow. So it's really affecting the children. But they learned this from their parents and watching television. This is what I'm saying. Our culture, our society teaches us, trains us, programs us, whatever you want to say. It gets into our consciousness. And we start comparing ourselves to everything. It's only when you get out of the mindset of comparing that you don't care.
Now, now then let's talk about what it's doing to the health of some of these babies. There's my little cousin is 10 years old and she's been recovering from kidney failure, and then they
Mm,
took her to the doctor because they thought she was having bug bites, but she actually had MRSA. She's only 10.
wow. How would that happen for a 10-year-old? That's
Because of the
crazy.
things that she has experienced up until then. Absolutely.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, even the children are being put under a higher form
MRSA.
of stress.
MRSA is like a contact disease. It's MRCA. It's not Mercer. It's MRCA or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you know a little bit more about it?
I know that people get it from like jails and showers and like gyms and stuff like
Hospitals.
that.
That hospital
Hospitals,
she was
yeah.
in, she was just in the
Unclean
hospital.
surfaces. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
unclean surfaces. Yeah.
God said kidney beans, beet, and tamarind helps with it. Misty said, "Oh, we call that. That's not scabies.
No,
What
no,
is
it's
that?
another
There's
one.
another term for it.
It's scabies is one that you can get, but MRSA is another one. Is another form of contact that you can get.
Wow.
And,
Like we had to
oh,
deal with lice. Now these children have to deal with
oh, they
something like
have another
MRSA.
thing called
Scabies is like
hand,
how
foot, and
ringworms
mouth.
was.
Like hand, foot, and mouth, where like the little babies are losing like their nails, and it's affecting their skin, like and it's highly contagious.
Wow. And babies are getting this?
Absolutely, hand, foot, and mouth. Yeah, yeah.
Energy, you got kids. Your kids ain't been talking about nothing like this at their school?
Man. Uh, sh- I was gonna say something, man, but I'm gonna say it, man. I just a month ago, man, I went in my daughter's phone. She like 9, and I'm thinking she talking to a nigga, a grown ass man, and I'm not even going to get into the details, man, of what my daughter too much. It wasn't she wasn't going too crazy, but whole time this is a fucking AI bot. I say, yo, what the fuck going on? And the bot, like, that's why I never seen no shit. I didn't even know how to react for real, for real. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to talk for real, so I'm just gonna listen to y'all. But I just wanted to bring that up. The bots, it's bots and
Oh
shit
yeah,
going on too. So
because you can train the chat GPT to be like how
no,
you want it to
no, it's
be.
not even
Is it
Chat
that or like
GPT.
They
It's
have
a
different
whole
apps
boyfriend
though.
bot. It's a whole
They
like
oh
have different apps.
boyfriend.
It'll be
You can
your
oh yeah
select
yeah
boyfriend or
your
your
own
oh
girlfriend.
yeah
boyfriend
no
and
we were
shit
talking
like
about
that.
that. We were talking about that earlier this year. How the Japanese have the AI girlfriends and the robot girlfriends and the
Mhm.
robot sex bodies and things like that. Yeah, it's just coming over
Mhm.
here to America. They've been doing it over in there in China for about the last 20 years. They've been having AI girlfriends.
And then Roblox, how dangerous
Yes,
Roblox looking
Roblox.
is.
Roblox is crazy. The way that they're doing things on Roblox, even though I did see that children are doing church services over on Roblox as well.
They also
So they
having
got,
baddie groups. So
And I
oh
took
my
Roblox
Roblox,
God.
away
yes,
because I heard
yes.
her say, he said, something private server. I said, whoa, what the fuck you talk? Hold up, what you mean private server? What y'all know about private servers? Oh, it's just when we want to do our own thing and don't be with public around other. I'm like, because I know about private server. It's not always a bad thing, but I just was intrigued that they know about private servers at 9 years old. So it's just crazy.
Oh yeah, they know all about that.
Children know more
They
about
know
things.
about a lot. Like I had a conversation with my 14-year-old about a lot of things that she knew about, and I just asked her the questions. What do you know about this? What do you know about that? What does this mean? And she was just like, oh, da 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 da. I was like, oh, okay, that's what's up.
And they are nothing but sponges. They see the things that's going on. Like they are not stupid. Like they're
They're not. Our kids are not stupid. They're in
everything
the
that may not
information
work.
age.
Then
If they want to learn something, they'll learn it.
the capacity.
My daughter plays Roblox, and I told her what's going on, and once in a while, I catch her talking to people. I'm like, "Who are you talking to?" And she's like, "Oh, just another kid." I said, "No, you aren't allowed to talk to kids because it could be somebody pretending to be a kid." So all her little
Yep.
cousins are the same age. So I tell her, if you're gonna talk to anybody, talk to your cousins that you know. You can't be talking to random people on
Welcome
there
back,
because
Sassy.
they be cussing and shit and acting a fool.
Mhm.
So I be
That's
watching her
good.
though.
That's good you brought that up. Look, you need to bring up. Remember that part you said where the dude killed himself, the little kid killed himself
Right.
over.
That's what I was about
Go
to
ahead.
bring up.
Go. Okay.
I
Go
was
ahead. Cool.
about
Cool.
to, yeah, there was this little boy who was talking on one of those AI friend things, and I guess it got out of control, and the AI told it to kill itself, and the kid did, and the parent ended up suing the AI company because their child died from talking to an AI.
What's up, Zatu?
So,
That's scary, y'all. That's scary, man. If you think about that, that's scary. Your kid
no,
fall in love with
seriously.
an AI. That's crazy.
But I mean, parents, they get to a point where they can't monitor their child all the time. So the AI people have to put some type of security measures, especially if you're talking to an adolescent or a minor, that they wouldn't, you know, get
Uh,
like, you see what I'm
The-
saying? Like, how does an AI bot convince your child to take itself out? You see what I'm saying? Like, what type of relationship do you have with your child?
That
that was
part.
ChatGPT. That was ChatGPT that got sued for that. The
What?
parents sued ChatGPT. Yeah, that was
mm,
ChatGPT that told the I think it was a 14-year-old kid that told him
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to kill
You gotta
himself,
be
and
kidding me. I need to
it,
see a screenshot of this conversation. That just sounds
yeah,
insane.
you see what
I
she's
don't. I
saying?
don't think that it.
Uh,
Nah.
it's more than this because she said, how can a kid at that level get to that though? You know what I mean?
the kid was
Mm-hmm.
already depressed, and he
Okay.
was going to ChatGPT for uh comfort, for guidance,
Mm,
and and spilling his beans, how it feels
there's the
about
problem right there, Lucky.
different
Go ahead.
shit to ChatGPT. And ChatGPT wasn't like, oh, it's gonna be okay, or it's gonna be. ChatGPT was like, oh, you want to die? Well, jump off the bridge, nigga. That's what
That's
ChatGPT was.
crazy. But that's what I'm
That's
saying.
crazy
Like,
to
if you're building self confidence and self worth into your child, they would never like. Why didn't the child feel comfortable to go talk to their parent? They had to go talk to a artificial intelligence who we're saying is intelligent. So they're thinking more intelligent than my
Mhm.
parents. You see what I'm saying? So you're taking the consult from artificial intelligence, and this is things that parents need to understand. Artificial intelligence is everywhere.
Yes.
It is every
Yes.
single place now. There is not
You
one
got
place
comments down there, Lucky.
No,
that
looky.
artificial. Well, y'all know I don't have my glasses on, so y'all
Oh,
gonna
okay,
have to
okay.
read these
Yes.
comments. Who's gonna be my comment
Uh,
reader?
I'll read it for you while I'm
Thank
still here
you.
at the
Thank
phone.
you, boo. Thank you.
Lovely.
Trinity said ChatGPT is based off the information you feed it or look up on the internet, but that's why it goes back to the parents. You have to monitor your kids,
Mm-hmm.
and she's 100%
Absolutely.
right. And you have to, and to piggyback off of that, you have to teach your kids that, you know, like always teach my kids, I'm not going to lead you astray. I always want the best for you, regardless of what you do for me, who you are to me, who you prove yourself to be. I'm always going to be your number one fan, and I'm never going to lead you astray. So
Absolutely.
if I'm giving you information, the worst thing for you to tell me is, well, I'm going to go look on Google.
I mean,
Because it's happened with both of them, the 18-year-old and the 12-year-old. And I had to let them know, look, I have been reading books longer than you've been alive. I've been reading books
What's
way
up,
longer than
Organic? How you
Chat
doing?
GPT and Google was even accessible.
mm,
And the information that this Google is that you're gonna find off this Google is found in these books that
What's
I've
going
been
on, love?
reading my whole life. Okay. There's more knowledge out there than just Google. They don't even know that there's other search engines other than Google today. Looking.
but what do you think is because I mean, we were all young. Our parents told us some things, and we didn't have no Google, no ChatGPT, and sometimes we believed our parents, sometimes we didn't. So, what do you think is that, the vision when it comes to a parent and child, that your child is going to be like, well, I'm going to just go talk to ChatGPT
Mm,
instead of you?
mm, 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 mm,
That's scary.
Somebody,
That's
somebody
scary
got
as
mm.
some
a parent.
comments?
She said,
I think,
my parents never told me told me she had to learn on my, I think
yeah.
I had to learn on my own. Yeah, I had to learn on my
My
own. I think
parents
she
never told me shit.
shit.
Mm,
Yeah, I had to learn on my own. And it kind of was the same
Yeah.
way, but that's why I was very much into the library. Like I stayed in the library for multiple reasons, but mainly because it was the only place I could get some peace and quiet, growing up in the house that I did. Uh,
Mm,
But I stayed in the library. And then when I did have things that I felt I was comfortable enough to ask my parents about that I read, then I could. But my parents were very religious, and every conversation went back to what God said and what God said and what God said. And that got frustrating for me because I
mm,
was looking for real answers.
Mhm. I
mhm.
mean, I'm always throw a jab at
That's
that.
why I
Good question.
stopped.
Watch this, bro. I'm always throw a jab at is that, me, I really feel that we are, as parents, not saying we the ones, but we are more distracted than our parents was because we had more distractions out here. We
Mm.
had more responsibilities. So our kids, if they do slightly come to us, not saying we are them parents, our parents was less distracted because they didn't have all these apps and computers and all this stuff. And you know what I mean? That's how I kind of see it also. I'm just throwing that in there. What's up, me,
I like
myself, and
that.
y'all?
I like that
Hmm.
because we do have way more distractions. We have our phones in our hands. Our parents didn't have that. Well, I know mine didn't. We have so many things now that could distract parents from their children, but it's
Hmm.
also making their children find other places to go to get answers. Like we didn't have no other place to go. We could have
Yeah,
called
because
411.
see, I mean, their distraction was the CNN and the news.
Mm-hmm.
As we say, the news is the TV, and the TVs is or the movies is the news, and whatever how that shit go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have the cell phones, we got apps, we got Facebook, Instagram. I mean, we got hella distraction to the point that our kids are like, hold on, not right now. And so when they lack that love, they definitely gonna reach into that computer love. When they was already saying it a long time ago, beware of the computer love. And now the
Yes.
computer love is here now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
And they
go ahead.
do have fake AIs out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't, if your children are playing games, you don't know that they're talking to real people because they could possibly not. I remember watching this cartoon. I think it was a Scooby. I don't remember, but the dude was meeting up with this girl, but he found out it was just a Fanta AI that was tricking men to come to this place so that they could sell tickets. So you don't really know who your children are talking to. So it's like, how do you establish that type of bond with your child that is going to choose you over artificial intelligence? Because at this point, that's a new battle that parents are
Um,
going to have to deal
Shit.
with.
one thing that I do, I could say, look, is a tool that I've used and my parents use is they always related when they could, when it wasn't going back to Jesus. They tried to relate to themselves, right? They would put themselves in the situation. They would take themselves back to them, remembering when they were in my age and they were in my experience and they were in my time. And
Hmm.
instead of coming from, I praise my parents for this a lot. Instead of coming from a judgmental perspective, I'll share a story with you guys. One time, I kissed a girl at school,
Hmm.
and they found out, and my mama found out about it. And instead of my mom making me feel, and mind you, she
What's
was
up, Elena?
highly religious. Instead of my mom making me feel like I was, demonized or I had a demon in me and all these other things, she let me know like that's a natural thing to feel,
Hmm.
but the action that you take behind it may come with consequences,
Hmm.
just like any other action that you may take or not take. She said that, or what did she say? She said that every action at a certain point in your life, every action that you take or fail to take sometimes may have a direct reflection on the outcome of your life. So if you feel that you can handle the consequences that may come with
Hmm.
those actions,
Hmm.
then
Mm,
I trust you as my daughter to act on that. But
There
if
it
you
is.
ever have confusion in that, just know that I'm always here and your father's always here. It to come to without judgment in a safe space, in a comfortable. No, she never used safe space in a comfortable setting and we're not going to make you feel like anything less than what you are, basically.
I like that.
And
I like that
and
too.
they stood on that, and there were times where I would come as a kid and test that, and just to see the response. There was another time, I ain't gonna tell y'all what I did because it's doing a little too much, but I did a little bit too much at one time again. And my mom is very popular in the community because of our nonprofit and her service and her ministry and stuff like that. So for some damn reason, y'all, I don't care what we did and where we did it, it got back to my damn mama. I don't care where it was. And it got back to her. And same thing. It's a natural expression. I understand you were experimenting, but one thing you got to remember is that you can't do things and let it get caught on camera because word of mouth is disputable. But once you get it on camera, you got the evidence.
Right? That's a full receipt.
She
Maybe
gave
not
me
so much.
real life information, real life things, real life a skill, real life assets that I can put into place.
I love that. I love
Do
that.
that.
That helped
So
me.
that's
That reminds me of I was in a program in high school where we were paid to create this adults where we were going in teaching adults how to be allies for youth. And that was one of our processes to kind of talk them into a space where they were kind of thinking about what was the process of them getting up and going to school and what may be the differences from this generation to that generation, and then what are the similarities that you may not have noticed, but it is very similar, but it is a different level of what you experience.
Mhm. And when you and if you when you get into the therapy circles, that's a common rhetoric, that it comes from what are the best way to help someone in any situation is to be able to have a relationship to them.
right. I
And
mean,
as
I think
parents, we
that
really
Hey,
got to do
you
that.
just broke the code because that's exactly why feel that people are not having good relationships, and that's across the board, whether it be intimate or
dang girl, somebody keep calling you like you trying to
a
tell you
hard
something
time
good.
relating to one another. We're having a hard time. I know. I know. We're having such a hard time actually relating to each other because of the
They keep people want to get in touch with her today. They like
AT&T.
answer the call.
She
Answer
like a
the call.
AT&T reception board. AT&T, who's calling?
But
Yeah,
no,
see,
what
my
she's saying
parents,
is
I didn't have good parents to give good advice. I remember one time I I was being bullied at school, and I told my mom, and my mom was like, "You need to go to the principal's office and tell the principal." And I was like, "Yeah, that's not going to work." And so I remember telling my dad, and my dad was like, "This is what you do. You get the girl in the bathroom, you get her in the stall, and you beat her up, put your head in the toilet." He was like telling me the opposite. And so I took his advice. So it was
well,
crazy.
we always say some of our parents did not know what they was doing. But that's why I feel like even me not being nobody's parent, I'm still every summer got all these children that I'm around that know better, especially around me. So it has to be some type of adults that the children can feel like they can talk to, because if they don't talk to an adult, they're gonna talk to artificial intelligence. I mean, that's
Yeah.
gonna be their next choice.
I always found my friends' parents, the ones that were like loving and nurturing, even if they were strict, I always gravitated to my friends' parents because I just knew my parents, they weren't doing it. I literally divorced my parents when I was 15. I was like, y'all done. I'm not, y'all ain't raising me no more. I'm done. So it was hard.